let's see what's going on this week. So first of all, we're in the portion of Naso. Naso is the second portion in the book of Bamidbar. It's the longest portion in the Torah. It has 176 verses, and I made some just a short, like, what's happening in this parasha. Obviously, we're not going to talk about all the subject in the parasha, but it starts with, again, counting the tribe of Levi, that is made out of three. It's the family of Kehat, the family of Gershon, and the family of the Merari. And this is three level of spirituality that we have. Again, we're going to talk about the counting and why counting. And then he's talking about the portion is talking about that if there is anyone who is not complete, who has any, if he's a leopard, or, if he's a leopard or he has some sort of impurity, he needs to get completely out of the camp. He cannot be in the camp because he's affecting, and it's like a virus that affects everyone, and the people of Israel agree to do that. And then they're talking about, the Torah is talking about a man that steal from a friend, and he lied about it, and he swear that he didn't do that. What happened with that man. And then the weirdest story about a man who suspect that his wife is cheating on him. Then he needs to take her to the priest, to the Kohen, and the Kohen give her some water with letters, with the letters of the Yud Kei Vav Kei, the Tetragrammaton. And if the letters is being erased, then it means that she cheated on her husband, and she's gonna die. She's gonna get a stomachache, and she's gonna die immediately. And if she's not, then the letters will stay, and it means that she never cheated, and she will have a son. All right, the weirdest story, if you understand it in the 1% level. Obviously, the Zohar is talking about it a lot. There is a whole article in the Zohar about this. And again, I'm not going to go into it, so I'm just going to mention briefly that obviously that woman is the level of Malchut, and Malchut wants to be connected with Zeir Anpin, because if Malchut is cheating on Zeir Anpin, it means there's no connection. We just had Shavuot. We want to have, the whole idea is to have the connection between Zeir Anpin and Malchut, and to connect the upper world and the lower world. May 20, we have the sun entering to the sign of Gemini. We know we had a new moon of Gemini already because the moon was in Gemini. We're already in the month of Sivan. We entered into the energy of Gemini. But the sun, all right, the sun is the force, of each and every one of us in our own chart. But also when the sun is in the sky, we really feel the energy of Gemini much stronger. So today the sun is entering into the sign of Gemini. Tomorrow, Friday, that sun in Gemini, she just entered. I say she because I'm translating from Hebrew. It just entered to the sign of Gemini. And because Jupiter also just entered to the month of Pisces, they are both squaring each other at 0 degree 47 minutes. It means square is an aspect. Aspect is a relationship basically between planets, and square is a little bit challenging relationship that they have. And then we're going to talk about what does it mean. And then on May 22nd, we have Mercury in Gemini. All right, first of all, Mercury in Gemini start to slow down because if I'm not mistaken, by next Saturday, is going to go stationary retrograde. Okay, so we already, even though Mercury is in Gemini and he's very fast, he's the planet that rules Gemini, and he's going very, very fast in Gemini, and he's going to square that Mercury Gemini that is slowing down. He's going to square, again, S-square, this harmonic relationship basically with planet Neptune. Neptune is in Pisces, 22nd degree, so much later, next year, that Jupiter in Pisces will meet Neptune, and we'll see what does it mean. But right now that Mercury is squaring Neptune. So we see that in the sky, basically, we have that square between the Sun in Gemini and Jupiter, and Mercury in Gemini and Neptune. All right, so we have that Gemini square to Pisces, because Jupiter is in Pisces and Neptune is in Pisces. All right, and on Sunday, on May 23rd, we're going to have Saturn retrograde. Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius, and he is going to go retrograde 13 degrees 31 minutes. And on Wednesday, just before our next class, so we're going to talk about it today, May 26th, we're going to have a total lunar eclipse in the sign of Sagittarius. So as you see in the portion and in the astrology, there's so many things happening. Our identity as human beings. All right, it's very important to each and every one of us to understand the power that we have as human being. You know, human being has both. For example, angel is connecting only to the upper world, all right, and the animal connecting only to the lower world. And human being is the one, you know, one thing that is that one creature that is connecting to the upper world and the lower world. And in our essence, even though it's very hard to see, in our essence, we can be higher than angels. We, as human beings, we are not the thoughts that we have. And we are not the feelings that we have. We are much above it. And we could see it, we just had Shavuot. You know, when the people of Israel receive or was given the Torah, and it says that the Creator kafalem harke gigit, he forced the Torah on them. He says, you're going to receive my Torah, or I'm going to kill you right here and right now. How could it be? Right? Because in the moment of the revelation of the Torah, when the Creator revealed himself to the to the people of Israel, each person from the people of Israel saw his true potential. Saw, you know, yeah, we can see, yeah, they saw the lightning and they saw the voices but it's beyond that. It's like each and every one saw their own potential, so that they are the one that if we are really want to connect, we can go above our thoughts, because thoughts coming to us, and how many times we tell ourselves we don't want those thoughts, or we have certain feelings and we don't want to feel that way. So if we don't really want to feel that way and we don't want to think that way, we don't really believe that we can go above those, because we have thoughts that we don't want to. So if we don't want those thoughts, this is not who we are. And the most important thing for each human being in this time, just before redemption, when we have all this chaos around us, you know, is to really find, and the world needs each and every spiritual person to inject that energy into the world, because most of the people of the world, unfortunately, they're so much into the 1%, and they can only see reality that we already know, as above, so below, that every reality that we're living is coming from our own thoughts, from our own subconscious. And now we have that Pisces is subconscious. We have Jupiter in Pisces, and we have Neptune in Pisces. These are the two planets that rules Pisces. It means that they're very, very strong in their own sign of subconscious. And the Gemini is the fast truth, you know, is the vivid truth. This is it. And the subconscious, all our life we're fighting our subconscious, because we're living for so many reincarnations, and we have so many traumas and so many experiences and so many fears that we carry on with ourselves for so long, that our subconscious is so strong. And so many times The subconscious is managing our life. We are not managing our life. The subconscious with our traumas is managing our life. So if we don't understand the power that we have as human beings, if we're falling into that I'm not good, if we're falling into I don't have what it takes, if I'm falling that I'm not valued and I'm not loved, if I'm falling to that illusion, if I really believe it and it shows in my reality because that's what I project, that's what I give to the world, we are missing something so fundamental. It's the third portion, last portion, right? We were talking about in the portion of Bamidbar, it's the creator, the portion of Bamidbar, Bamidbar, right? It says, וידבר השם אל משה בהר סיני באוהל מועד באחד לחודש השני, okay? שאו את ראש עדת בני ישראל. We talked about it. Elevate the head of the people of Israel. Elevate their head. What does it mean? Count them? But it doesn't say count them. It says elevate them. And we talked about it last week that by counting, it's like counting something very rare. Not just, something that you have and you're not even sure how many you have of it. Each and every one from humanity is rare, is unique, and the Creator every time wants to count them, to appreciate and to give each person the unique power that they have. And that we read last week. And this week, the portion of Naso, if we are reading the beginning, it says, Naso et rosh bnei Gershon gamhem. Okay, again, elevate the head of the Gershon. Gershon is one of the families that I explained before from the tribe of the Levites. Because back then, last parasha was about the whole nation of Israel, and here is about the Levites. And the Levi is the spiritual, essence within humanity. It's the Levites. All right, and we can see that there is 3 levels, and we're going to talk about the 3 levels of spirituality that we can have according to the Torah. And even in next portion, it says it's the portion of Beha'alotcha, to elevate again, to elevate the candles. But again, it's like it's all about elevation. It's all about giving each person the feeling, the energy, the understanding, the knowledge that we all very, very special, but not from the ego point of view. Okay, to really understand that we are above thoughts, we are above feeling, we are who we said we are. All right, we are who we say we are. In Kabbalah 2, I haven't taught Kabbalah 2 for a long time, and I know they changed the curriculum. So I think it's still in Kabbalah 2, or it's in Kabbalah 3 these days. We're talking about Rav Ashlag that says that we really need to know Chush Hakarat Hara. Chush Hakarat Hara is the feeling of the evil that we have within us. The Chush, the feeling. Okay, not the knowing. And many times, as spiritual people, we want to know what's not good about us or what is our negativity. We want to know it just so we can overcome it. We don't want to know it, but many times, as spiritual people, and remember the South Node is in Sagittarius, no more belief system that we are not good. That's not the idea. And we're going to have eclipse on that South Node on Sagittarius, so big break of belief systems, right? But when Rav Ashlag is saying feel the evil within you, it means that all we have to do, is we need to know, so on one hand, we need to know what are we capable of? What is our value? Who we are? What is our potential? Forget about creativity and know how to make money and love. Like, as human being, that's the Aquarius, like in Pisces. High level, how can we be like above all of it? All right? And part of the process of of knowing yourself is to feeling the evil within. And the thing is like that we know it and we start to judge ourselves for all the things that we're not good about, but we're not feeling it. And we talk about feelings so many times, but here it go again. Here it goes again. If I know that, smoking is not good. Okay, I know that smoking is not good, and I still, want to smoke a cigarette. Now, but I know it's not good, but I don't feel it's not good. Because, I know it's not good, but it makes me feel good. So even if I do something that is not good, if it makes me feel good, then I don't want to let it go, really. Right? Feeling good is I feel that it's not good. And what Ravashlik is saying really, that we don't need to remove that negativity, because it says the moment you know what is your negativity and you're aware of it, right, that it goes away. You don't have to fight it. It's enough that you know. But it says it's not really that knowing, is the feeling. The moment I feel that I don't want that negativity anymore, like I really don't want it anymore. I recognize it and I don't want it anymore. We don't have to fight it. It just goes away. The moment we feel it, it goes away. Okay? And this is where we really need to take responsibility and say, because if we're not going to be recognizing or feeling the negativity within us, we will never be able to change. But the only reason we want to feel that negativity for it to go away. Okay, but we need to understand our power as human being again. A person who does not appreciate himself will never be able to be anything that he wants in his life. And it doesn't matter what it is. So when we say, I need to appreciate, or, we hear it so many times. I need to appreciate myself. I need to love myself. I need to love myself more. And we're like, but do we really understand that if I don't love myself, history will repeat itself and I will continue to repeat same stories and same chaos again and again and again? Now in the eclipse that we're going to have, it's that south node of Sagittarius. It's belief system that, and I said it so many times, I feel like, like I'm telling it to myself all the time, like doesn't work for us anymore. King David was born redhead. Nobody before King David was born with red head. The first one that was born with red head was Esau. And when David was born, and there was a whole story, because if you remember, we just read the scroll of Ruth, because Ruth was the second grandma of King David, so King David came from the dynasty of Ruth, and Ruth was from the nation of Moab and not from the nation of Israel. So there was a lot of chaos around King David, if he belongs to the nation of Israel or don't belong to the nation of Israel. So when he was born with red hair, everyone was sure that he's like Esau, and we know Esau was very negative, right? His father, Ishai, there were 7 people who died, not because of any sin they did, just because they had to go through that snake, that they had to go through that snake. So they only died because of this, the angel of death took them, and that was the only sin they had. So he was such a high soul. And when King David was born, he was not even sure that this is his son. And again, if you ever want to hear more of that story, let me know. I'll tell you the whole story about it. But I'm cutting through all the why Ishai didn't think that David was his son. So they send them with the ships to the to the outskirts, and they really hoped, and those righteous, elevated people, they hoped that an animal will kill him, and they don't have to deal with him anymore. That was King David. Spent all of his childhood until he was 19 years old by himself with the sheep. And he was singing and he was studying, but he was by himself. And when the prophet Shmuel, when God sent him to the house of Ishai, because the Creator said to Shmuel, go to Ishai, and one of his sons will be the next king after Saul. So when Shmuel went there, Ishai showed him all the 7 children, and each one was stronger and righteous and leader from the other. And every time Shmuel asked the Creator, is this the one? And the Creator says, no, that's not the one. And then there's no more sons. And then Shmuel tell Ishai, like, don't you have another son? He says, well, I'm not sure about it. Are you for sure not talking about David? And the Creator says, yeah, let him call David. And then David came. And Shmuel, when he saw David, and Shmuel the prophet, he was one of the highest soul ever existed. When Shmuel saw David, when Shmuel saw David, he says, honestly, Creator, this is the one. It cannot be. And the Creator didn't say anything. The oil, they used to, put oil on the kings. The oil jumped from his bucket and he went on David, and that was the sign that David was the next king. So why am I telling you that story? Because and the reason I'm mentioning, there were such a high soul, Ishai and Shmuel, the prophet, such high souls. How come they didn't see? They didn't see the potential of David, that they want him to be killed. I never wanted to have anything to do with him. Is King David is a chariot for the Malchut. Is one of the highest soul ever existed again. How come such a great soul cannot see or cannot have affinity with another great soul? They didn't believe in him. But David all the time had certainty. Not for a moment David didn't have certainty. It says that Ne'eman alaya dayan. For 29 years, he says, Ne'eman alaya dayan, I trust with the Creator. With the Dayan is not the Creator, is the one who's saying the verdict. If the verdict is like that, I'm okay with it. If the verdict is like that, I'm okay with it. So he never lost hope for a moment because he knew his soul. And from that story, what I want to tell you is that no matter who the person is, nobody in this world can tell us who we are. Nobody in this world.